Okay, and then about the testing and the contingencies, why is it that you guys are promising 500 million tests next month if you haven't even signed a contract to buy the tests?
Well, we have no concern about the contract being finalized. We're just working to finalize the contracts. We just announced this 2 days ago. But we don't see any issue or any halt to getting that done and to finalizing that. That's a natural part of the process.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm sorry, just jumping on what Peter had said, another thing that the president said in his interview was, I wish I had thought about ordering 500 million tests 2 months ago. And I just wondered, I mean, we all knew variants were on the rise, the Christmas holiday season was coming. Why didn't anyone think of it in advance?
Well, I would say we did take steps to rapidly increase our testing capacity as of the summer. And I would just go back to kind of the chain of events here to remind people of, and we forget, June was a long time ago, but before the Delta variant was on the rise, there was not a demand for testing in this country. There really wasn't. Then Delta obviously increased the demand. We also had to take steps as a federal government to build up the market because the market wasn't there to meet if the demand rose. What the president did with the Defense Production Act is to do exactly that, investing $3 billion several months ago to make sure we were building up the market, to make sure we had the capacity. There wouldn't have been 500 billion tests to order several months ago. So the $3 billion investment, the use of the Defense Production Act actually increased capacity in the market. And that allowed us to quadruple our testing capacity and allowed us to get to this point where we're able to make the significant order that we made. I would also go ahead.
Jen, just to follow up on that, because it is the president who said himself that he wishes that he had thought about this idea 2 months ago. And public health experts have been saying for months, including 2 months ago, that there was not enough testing supply. So why did nobody think of this, or did the president miss the mark here?
I think what I conveyed just to Alex, but I'm happy to reiterate to you, is that the president and the team did take steps to increase capacity. Of course, if there would have been 500 billion tests and we would have known that there were these, very transmissible variants, that's one thing. But the president knew that we needed to increase testing capacity. That's why he used the Defense Production Act to expand the supply of at-home tests. Without that, we wouldn't have the supply in the market. Yeah, I think the facts here are, though, important. I understand what you're asking, but I've answered it a couple of times, and I'm trying to give you the facts and details so you can share them with your viewers.
Is the president not aware that there were these supply constraints? Because he's saying yesterday that he wishes he had thought of this 2 months ago. Is he not aware that there wasn't the supply at the time to purchase those 500 million?
Well, the president wouldn't have taken the steps in September and October he had taken if we weren't aware that we needed to have increased supply. But also there wasn't the demand back in June for it, right? And Delta changed the mentality in the public for understandable reasons. And the fact that there were only a couple of approved tests just before October, there were only about 3 on the market, right, that we could have tapped into. The president, using the Defense Production Act and investing $3 billion, allowed for there to be an increase in production so we could order the huge number of supply that we're ordering now.
What we've heard from some viewers is that, look, they feel like we're back here again because last year, the holidays, people were rushing to get tests. And so for them, this could be predictable just because so many people are trying to gather. And the question is, again, why wasn't there some foresight? Or for them, it seems like there might not have been foresight with meeting the demand of the holiday season.
Well, I don't think last Christmas people were rushing to get tests because I don't think there were. Maybe there was one, I'm not sure, over-the-counter approved test. Last Christmas, there were not vaccines available to the country, right?